Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, back again for another NHL 18 video. Now today, I'm not going to be focusing on the gameplay that's on the screen at the moment. You guys will be watching some NHL 3s gameplay that I have recorded a couple of days ago in the background. But today, I wanted to discuss with you guys some things that I feel about the NHL 18 beta at the moment, and what we could expect to see when the game is fully released next month, and how I think the beta gameplay could reflect some of the things that we are going to be able to see in the full game, and how it's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, first off, I want to start by saying this is not going to be a rant video. I don't do rant videos. I don't rant in my videos all too much unless, you know, the game is happening right now and I'll complain about something, but that's what my Twitter is for. I rant about the game on Twitter or the real life NHL stuff. Mostly it's HUT stuff, but it's just, you know, stupid stuff. In any case, that's what my Twitter is for. I don't rant in videos. This one I want to have a very good discussion with you guys, and I want to get your opinions about some of the things, like I said, that I'm feeling about the beta, and I'm wondering if you guys are feeling the same thing as well. So, first off, I'm going to be discussing about NHL 3s, I'm going to be discussing the new Dekes, I'm going to be discussing the gameplay in a small aspect, and I'm not going to really touch on EASHL all too much, because what I'm going to be discussing in this video about the gameplay and the Dekes and NHL 3s, in a sense, doesn't really reflect the EASHL all too much, because the one main topic I'm going to be focusing in on is simplicity. And I feel that through the NHL 18's beta, through the introduction of all these new crazy Dekes and whatnot, I feel as if though NHL 18 in all aspects, whether it's going to be all these new modes of NHL 3s, EASHL, possibly even Hockey Ultimate Team, I personally feel that NHL 18's gameplay wise, between player versus player, I feel as if though it's going to be very, very simplistic. Now let me get into my reasoning for this. First off, I want to discuss the new Dekes in the game. How are you guys enjoying the new Dekes? I personally, if you guys haven't noticed, I made a deking video. It's up to around, I think, 26,000 views already, which is not too shabby. If you guys haven't seen that yet, make sure to go check it out. I do all the button layouts for the Dekes and whatnot. No commentary over it, so just some clips of me pulling off all the Dekes and the button layouts and whatnot. So I feel as if though that was a very good video that I decided to make. I haven't made one of those in previous games, but I felt like it was needed this year just because of all the new stuff that you'll be able to pull off in the game. Now, speaking of all these new Dekes to pull off, as I mentioned, are you guys using them at all in the beta? Granted, the beta is a mode for you to try out and test out these new Dekes. Some people aren't using these new Dekes to their full advantage, some people are. But most of the games that I've played, the gameplay has been very, very simplistic, meaning that people are just trying the same old stuff as they normally have, whether it be cross-crease passes, slap shots, wrist shots from the high slot, the pullback wristers to the opposite side, the goals that have been going in and year out. And honestly, I don't have a problem with that, but there's something that I don't have a problem with the people using them. It's just I have a problem with why and what reason in the game mode that they're using them. So do you guys think the Dekes are a little bit too hard to pull off? That's one of my main questions. Personally, I don't, because I have a good button memory, and I can pretty much do every Deke in this game, with the exception of the one-handed touch on your forehand. That one's still a little bit tough for me to do, because my brain just doesn't comprehend about going to my forehand and then going backhand, and then forehand back again on the right stick, and then doing the opposite on the left stick as well. So it's a little bit messing with my brain. I could do the Zetterberg so easily, but I can't really do that one Deke all too well. But other than that, I think all the other Dekes are really nice. If I had to complain about any of the Dekes so far, I really do miss the fact that the 45-degree cuts are now holding left bumper, and the fact that you have to press left or the right stick in order to pull those off. I really missed having the ability to just push both sticks in either direction and then being able to do those 45-degree cuts. I think I was able to create so much more space out on the ice when I was able to do that, but with the way those Dekes are now is you have to hold left bumper and then press left stick, and you pretty much have to wait for that Deke to complete itself before you can actually start to do another one. You can't really string multiple ones of those together. You have to wait for one to complete before you can actually move on to the next one. And, you know, I really do miss that. But it's a small minor case. I still will be able to use those all too well. They're really good on breakaways. I scored a bit on them with breakaway, just going one move and then either backhand or forehand. Kind of beats the goalie every time. But in any case, people aren't using the Dekes as much as I've seen in online versus play and especially in NHL 3s. Why? Because I feel as though people are not seeing a reason to use them, or they're too tough and too complicated for some of the guys to pull off. And that's the one reason I have to complain about this game being possibly too simplistic. In NHL 3s, as you guys can see right now, the opponent that I'm playing, yes, he's going for a couple dekes here and there, but as you guys can see, when he's trying to score a goal and whatnot, he's doing basically the same moves that any other person would see in like a Hockey Ultimate Team type of game. Granted, I'm doing the same things as well, but I'm doing that to show you guys a purpose why I'm doing them. NHL 3s is a mode that encourages the arcade style of gameplay. Every single competitive game that I've almost played in NHL 3s, nobody is doing those crazy dekes. This is a mode that I feel encourages these crazy dekes to be pulled off. And I personally feel that people are just playing them too simplistically and are just trying for the same old moves again and again and again. And I had this debate with somebody on Twitter the other day saying that I posted a tweet saying, I really wish NHL 3s people would, you know, go for more fancy goals, go for the crazy dekes all the time, rather than just doing, you know, cross creases, slap shots, pullback wristers, the kind of glitch goals that would go in NHL 3s. If you want to score in NHL 3s, take a slap shot pretty much from center ice and shoot at his blocker side. It almost guarantees you a goal almost every single time. So one of the main responses that I was getting as a result of that tweet was saying, so people can't play NHL 3s and go out there to try to win the game. That's not what I was trying to say. That's not what I was trying to say at all. I'm trying to say that it's NHL 3s specifically is an environment that encourages fast hockey play and craziness and highlight reel goals. And people are just continuing to do the simple things because that's what they've been doing in every NHL game since then. Especially even NHL 17. Not many people were using the dekes in NHL 17. If you can go as far back as every NHL game for the best highlight reel players. The best players in this game don't use the dekes all too much, with the exception of maybe one here or there that tends to work for them every single time. You'll notice that the good players in this game rarely use the dekes. They just pass the puck well, cycle the puck really well, and get prime scoring opportunities. They don't take many shots because when they do take shots, they go in. I mean, that's the easiest way around it. They know how to score the goals that go in every single time, and that's what people I think are doing in NHL 3s. They know what goes in every single time, so they'll continue to abuse it rather than, you know, trying to have fun in the game mode. If you play with your friends, if you play with a full lobby of NHL 3s, I would guarantee you people will try to do the crazy stuff, and you guys will probably have experienced this already if you played NHL 3s with your friends or whatnot. If you have a full lobby, or if you have like 6v6 there in NHL 3s, you guys will probably have 10 times more fun playing against your friends and whatnot rather than playing online, because you'll get the one guy online who goes for the simple goals rather than actually trying to have fun. And that's why I play NHL 3s the way I do. I try to go for those fancy goals. I try to do as many dekes as I possibly can, because in hopes that it will encourage the player that I'm playing against to try out those moves as well. But sometimes it doesn't really work out that way, and once again, they care about the record and are going for the good goals and the crazy, you know, just the goals that go in all the time. This can be transferred over to online versus play as well. Now, online versus play is another crazy realm because OVP is not going to play like Hockey Ultimate Team at all. OVP is normally generally slower than Hockey Ultimate Team. It won't have the same slider attributes to it. And in Hockey Ultimate Team, you'll be using 10s greater players than you will in Online Versus Play. In Online Versus Play, you pick a team and you're stuck with those players. Like, 3rd and 4th line guys will never, ever end up on your Hockey Ultimate Team that you will in OVP for sure. Plus OVP, the overalls are all crazy out of whack at the moment. And, you know, many people in Online Versus Play aren't pulling off those crazy dekes as well. I've played some really good players in Online Versus Play so far right now, and once again, they don't do the crazy dekes, they just pass the puck well. They pass the puck well and get those goals that go in almost all the time. And like I said, that's the main reason I'm making this video for you guys today, is that do you think NHL 18, even with all the new dekes, with all the new aspects to the game, do you still think it's going to be simplistic? Do you think that every single game that you guys end up going into, do you see people trying to do the craziness of these moves, or do you see people trying to pull off these moves more and more often as they get more accustomed to them? Or do you continue to see people just do the same old stuff year in and year out that'll go in every time? Because the reason that they made all these new dekes is to, you know, give you more creative ways to score goals in this game. And I feel people aren't using those dekes to their advantage. Granted, like I said, they might be too hard to pull off, or people just haven't used them enough for the fact that there's not a practice mode in the beta. I feel if they put a practice mode in the beta, people would be more inclined to use these dekes more often because they would get a better feel for them. They'd get a better understanding of how to pull them off more often, rather than, you know, just going for the simple backhand forehands, the big shot backhands and things like that. But that's just my argument today, is that especially in threes, it's an environment that promotes craziness, fast-paced action of it, and people aren't using that. They're still doing the same old stuff. Like I said, EASHL is a whole different realm too. Online Versus Play, I explained it because it's not going to play the way that most people are going to play. Granted, most people are going to play Hockey Ultimate Team. We can almost assume that right off the bat. Most people are going to play Hockey Ultimate Team when NHL 18 comes out, and it's going to play a whole lot different than Online Versus Play. But in EASHL is a whole different story, because whether you're playing with, if you're playing 3-on-3 EASHL, I can understand lots of people doing those crazy dekes because you're going to have so much more ice out there where there's not going to be any computers out there on the ice if there's penalties called, and if there's not any penalties called, or if there's going to be if it's a 6v6 EASHL game, you guys will rarely see those crazy dekes being made unless you have that one superstar guy on the team who always wants to pull those things off. But EASHL will always be very, very simplistic. It'll always be smart passing between your teammates, you know, cycling it, whatnot, trying to get those goals that'll open up, because EASHL is human error. There's not really any room for the computer to make a mistake for you. EASHL is all about capitalizing on the human error in the game mode, and that's one of the main reasons why I think EASHL benefits from the simplicity of hockey. But for all these other game modes like Online Versus Play, especially NHL 3s, even Hockey Ultimate Team when it'll come out, Hockey Ultimate Team is very simplistic as well, because people just go for the goals that always tend to go in, because there's rewards for Hockey Ultimate Team. You know, you want to get the best cards, you want to have the most amount of pucks in the game, you want to have the best players available to you every single time you play a game. And I mean, that's the reason why people go for the simplistic stuff in Hockey Ultimate Team, because one, it works, and people want to do the things that will benefit them the most in the game in the long run. But the main argument here was, once again, is mainly on NHL 3s, because I continue to mention it. There's no way people are pulling off these crazy dekes, because they like I said, they just don't see the reason to pull them off, because the simplicity in the other game modes promotes simplicity in a non-simplistic type of mode. So that's going to be pretty much my thoughts on NHL 18 right now. I don't think that it will come to that in the full release of the game, but I feel that's just the way people are playing it right now. And why change anything that's different when the simple stuff goes in and not try for any highlight reel goals. As you guys will see here, I mean, in this game, I'm losing 4-0 against this guy who's playing as the Capitals, and I'll end up beating him in the end because all of his goals were rather simplistic. Granted, I try to go crazy out with diving with my goaltender, but I'll end up beating him in this game. So that's just my reasoning behind it. I just want to get your guys' opinions on it as well, as if you feel the same way that I do. Do you think that it will carry over into the full NHL game? I don't think it will. I think when people get more experience with the new Dekes and they learn which Dekes will be really, really beneficial to use against CPUs and things like that, I feel as if we'll continue to see a slight rise of all the craziness of the Dekes when we figure out which ones really work the best, and you'll continue to see all those moves being put into all the modes at a slow rate, other than, you know, I think EASHL. Because EASHL, as I mentioned, is all human error. You will rarely see people trying out those crazy Dekes in EASHL because it's all humans, and simplistic stuff works in the EASHL. So that's my argument there. I want to hear what you guys think about the new Dekes, NHL 3s, the fact that people are trying the easy stuff in NHL 3s, or do you feel as if you want people to try to do all these crazy new moves more often than they are right now? So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as always. Been getting hit with the dislike button as of lately, so hopefully we can change that around in the next couple things. I do have another video coming out in probably tomorrow, whenever this goes out. This might go up on a Saturday, but have another video coming out regarding EASHL and on my thoughts on if I should start scouting for a team or looking to join an EASHL club in the next upcoming game, because I want to get some more variety EASHL content out there rather than just playing LG stuff. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys got some room on your EASHL clubs, and once again, leave your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you guys think. Remember, this is just not a rant on my thoughts about the beta and how people are playing the beta. This is a video for discussion about how you guys are feeling about the beta and the way people are playing the game at the current moment. Hopefully it changes by the time the full game releases, but once again, I just want to hear your thoughts on how you guys are playing it right now. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, and I will see you guys next time for another NHL 18 video. Peace.